Good afternoon. My name is Dawn Wittmann. I am the Trade Show and Exhibitor Services Sales Coordinator for the International Home Housewares Show. Today I'm doing a live demonstration on how to complete your space application for the 2017 International Home and Housewares Show. Now, when you look at the link here on the URL, you'll see that I'm in a space app test. When you log on, you're going to be in space application and not a test site that we are using specifically for this demonstration. So I've logged in. I'm going down here to company ID. I'm going to enter my ID number and my seniority number. These numbers can be found on your instruction sheet that you would have received in your space application package. It's in the lower right-hand corner, and it'll have, if you exhibited with us last year, it'll have your space from last year and all of your company information as well as your ID and seniority number. Then I'm going to click Begin. The first step that it's taken me to is the company information, and you can see here that it says IHA staff, and there's a little question mark. If you roll your mouse over that question mark or click on it, it's going to give you instructions on how to submit a formal name change for your company. IHA does not maintain separate databases for their membership and show participation, so any name change that you make will reflect on both membership and your listing in the show. On this page, you'll see you have your company name, address, phone, fax. If all of this information is correct, you can scroll down and tell me if you have a subsidiary company or controlling company, and the country of origin. If your headquarters are in Australia or Germany, Croatia, anywhere, you can click and let me know that your company headquarters or your product is originally from another country. We calculate and tally all of that information to let our buyers know how many international companies we actually have. When you scroll down a little more, you're going to see that we are, tracking companies that produce the Internet of Things products. So if you have a smart device application or a product that communicates to a smart device, we want to know about it. So you can click that box there. And then you're going to tell me your brands and licenses. And these are free text areas, so you can type in any brands and licenses that you have. And we recommend one per line. To move on to the next step, you're going to click Save and Proceed. This next portion of the application is for your company personnel. And IHA collects this data. We use it only internally. We are a nonprofit trade association, so we do not sell any of our data information, email addresses, or personnel from our exhibitors. Now, I'm not going to add anyone here, but you can see I'm listed here as the Chief Executive Officer, and I'm also the member contact and the show contact. If I wanted to add another position, let's say I want to add International Sales Manager, I click on the box, and as soon as I start typing, you'll see a drop-down arrow appears, and you can pre-populate the information. To finish, you're going to click Save and proceed to Step 4. Step 4 is company demographics. This is where you're going to tell me the size of your company by the volume of annual sales that you have. You are also, if you complete this page, you're going to receive at no charge, the IHA State of the Industry Report. This demographics page is not required. You are not held accountable for any of this information. We don't double check it. It's merely to let the state of the industry know the sizes, shapes, and annual sales volume of the companies that exhibit at our show. I have nothing to add here, so I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom and click Save and Proceed. Now this is the page that everybody wants to get to right away. This is where you're going to make your booth request. Now, as a previous exhibitor, you'll see I'm offered 3 opportunities. I can either request the same, I can request expansion, or I can request relocation. If I'm going to request same, that is the same size and location that I had at last year's show. And it's pre-populated into the application so that all you have to do is scroll down, check all of the required boxes, and then click Save and Proceed. Excuse me. For expansion, it's assumed that you're asking for an expansion in your same location from the previous year. And I have to say that expansion requests that are in the same location are very rare and very difficult to accommodate. So you really need to be flexible in your expansion requests and be possibly willing to move. The last button you see is to request a new location. That would be new size, new location, new everything. But when you request this, you're also going to be given an opportunity to save your space from the previous year. We call that saving the last resort. And I'm going to walk through this so you can see. I'm going to request a new location. It's going to take me, my category is the clean and contain category. I'm going to enter my dimensions. I want a 10 by 10. And you can see you can enter the dimensions as large as 200 by 200, although that really doesn't exist. So let's go back to a 10 by 10. And I'm going to take a standard inline. You have an island configuration, a peninsula, and a walk-through configuration as well. The island configurations must be larger than 400 square feet, and they have 4 corners. Peninsula configurations must also be larger than 400 square feet, and they have 2 corners. Those corners are mandatory charges. When you are requesting corners, you'll see that corner locations are on the floor plan that you got in your packet, and they are not considered for spaces that are under 300 square feet. Now, however, there are some locations where if by chance or luck you end up getting a 200 square foot location on a corner, consider yourself very lucky and to hang on to that space. You'll see in the floor plan that corner locations are very limited, and of course everyone wants a corner. So I want no corners. I'm flexible in my configuration. And then I'm coming down to the utilities. Now I would like electric at my booth, but by checking this box, by checking electric, water, drain, or compressed air, you're not placing your order for your utility. You're only letting the IHA staff know that your booth is going to require utilities, so you need to be placed in a location that can accommodate those utilities. Water and drain are very difficult to accommodate if you haven't already had them. IHA does not pull water or drain utilities through other booths, and we are no longer pulling them through aisles and ramping. You'll see here that we have the utility waiver agreement that you need to check the box, that you've read and understand this new requirement. Now this area here is where you're going to enter your booth numbers. It's a free text area, or you can click on the Call with Options blue icon, which enters it right there, or I could say near the cooking theater, or I can give a booth range. Say I want to be in aisle 500 to 530. This next orange box is where you're going to click that if the selections above are not available, you would like the same space that was assigned to you at the previous show. By clicking this box, your location from the 2016 show is held on reserve. IHA offers all of our exhibitors the right of first refusal to turn down their space from last year before accepting a new space. So by clicking on this option, you're holding your space from last year, and your show manager will be contacting you with several different options. If none of those options are appealing, you still have your space from last year. The next section here is for competition, and we really only want you to put one company name per line, and you can add as many as you need to. Let's say I don't want to be near Hamilton Beach or Con Air, or I don't want to be near Lifetime Brands. One name per line. The next section is for the products that you're going to be showing. This is not mandatory. You can either let us know, or you could leave this blank. And then finally, on the booth request, you're going to let me know if your company is sharing space with a subsidiary or division. I am not sharing, so I'm going to click no, and then I'm going to save this request. Now it takes me back to the page, and it looks like I haven't done anything, but I really did make a request, and I can remove it if I don't like it. If I need to make another request for a different category, I can make another request and choose tabletop as a category, because maybe I have some tabletop products. If I don't have a category, another category approved, it's going to end up pending, and it will be pending the show manager's approval for a new category. Since I don't have any other product but my cleaning product, I'm going to go to step 6 for membership and my invoice. When you click on the payment options, you have the first payment option is to pay in full and to receive that early rate if your application and payment are received by July 1st. And you can become a member now if you haven't already submitted your $450 check for membership. We have two rates for membership. If your company has an annual sales of under $10 million, then the rate is $450. If your annual houseware sales are over $10 million, the fee is $750. If you were to choose to make a partial payment, you're going to pay 50% of your booth space fees. However, you are required to pay 100% of your membership fees. This will be all calculated out on your invoice, and the balance is due in September. I think I'll choose that option so that you can see how it breaks it down on the invoice. You can also choose to not become a member, and then if you choose not to become a member, you'll see over here that your rate has changed, and you're now billed at the higher rate. If I become a member now, it gives me the $1,550 for my 100 square feet, no corner fee, and then it adds in my $450 membership fee for a total of $2,000. You can bounce back and forth between these to see how much you would save. If I paid in full, I'm going to save $50. The next 3 boxes are very important for our legal department. This first box is that you're going to agree to the rules and regulations set forth by our nonprofit trade association. Our board of directors has designed these rules and regulations in fairness and protection for all of our exhibiting companies. So you need to check that box that you read these rules and regulations. And if you'd like to, you can click on the blue icon that says here, and a PDF will appear that you can save, print, and read later. The next box is our exhibitor code of conduct. We anticipate all of our exhibiting companies to abide by this conduct and behave in a professional manner anytime you're on the show floor. Again, if you'd like to print off a PDF copy, you can click on the blue icon that says here. The last section is, again, the utility service agreement, and you need to read and understand that IHA will no longer be ramping utilities through aisles, and if at such time that you show up and need the utility, we do have a waiver that you would need to sign, as well as submit your certificate of insurance for $1 million. You need to check the box that you read and understand, and you can find the PDF for this right here with the blue icon that says here. By typing in your name and your email address, you are submitting your electronic signature and agreeing to abide by all the rules and regulations on this space application contract. If you're completely finished, you can click Finish Your Space Application. But once you click this, you cannot go back and make any changes. Any changes from this point forward would need to be submitted to me in writing through an email, and then we'll confirm your changes through an altered or revised invoice. There, I've clicked Finish. Of course, my internet is running a little slow, but here we have it. I am now going to receive an email that has my space application and my invoice, as well as a PDF copy of the terms and conditions and the exhibitor code of conduct. You can see here now that it says my space application is complete. I'm going to receive an email summarizing my request along with the rules. If payment is not received, the space cannot be assigned. And every time you log into this site, this is what you will see. You will no longer be able to enter a booth request or make any of your company changes. Now that's all I have for you today. If any of you have any questions, you can email me at dwittmann@housewares.org, or you can pick up the phone and give me a call. I'll be happy to talk anybody through this at 1-847-692-0140. Thank you all very much, and have a great day.